Hello everyone and welcome to Pragmach. Today I want to discuss the new iMac from Apple, recently announced with an M1 chip and a very colorful, slender design. It is a super thin profile, however it does maintain that iconic chin. It still provides the simplicity of an all-in-one, and it is now sporting the M1 chip, which is Apple's silicon chip, which they released in late 2020. And today I want to focus on who should be buying this Mac. Who is this Mac best for? We'll talk about what's new with the machine and what's really not that new, the divisive design and the color options, and the pricing structure, which can be a little bit Apple-y. Let's get started. With the design, you have colorful, slim, yet classic. The new design keeps the core elements of the previous generation while slimming everything down. In fact, Apple is saying that it's 50% of the volume of the previous iMac. It is super compact, it's 11.5 millimeters thin, and it weighs under 10 pounds. Some internal redesigns, they've consolidated the fans, they put in some smaller fans, mostly due to the lower thermals on the M1 chipset, meaning that Apple didn't have to work as hard to keep it cool. You gain from having a very quiet computer. And if you weren't a fan of the previous iMac, if you didn't like the big block at the bottom, if you thought that always stood out and you wish that Apple would put everything behind the display, well, I think Apple is saying that's what makes an iMac an iMac. Having that large chin at the bottom is what makes it distinct, and if not, it would just kind of look like a monitor. From a practical perspective, that is where the internal components are housed. Apple did have to put it somewhere, and they wanted to keep things very thin. Moving on to the display, it's actually a 23.5-inch display once you measure it diagonally, but Apple is calling it a 24-inch. Apple has labeled it a 4.5K Retina display. What that really means is it has a 4480 by 2520 resolution, and that is a 500 nit display, very bright, with a P3 wide color gamut and a true tone display, meaning it will adapt the display to the lighting environment. When comparing the 24-inch iMac to the 21.5-inch iMac, Apple has reduced the bezels, and the reduced bezels means that Apple's been able to fit a much larger display into basically the same size, the same body as the 21.5-inch Mac. Touching on the internals really quick, it has that M1 chipset, which is a system on a chip from Apple. That's their own proprietary silicon, 8GB configuration, and a 16GB of RAM configuration. Similar to what Apple did on the MacBook Air with M1, the entry-level iMac has only 7 GPU cores. You have to jump up into a higher tier to get 8 full GPU cores on that M1 chipset. So a little bit of difference there on the graphics unit as you step up. Storage starts at 256 gigabytes of storage on an SSD drive and goes all the way up to a maximum of 2 terabytes. When looking at the ports, the entry-level model, the very starter model, has 2 USB Thunderbolt USB 4 ports. If you go into the higher tiers, there are 2 additional USB 3 ports, giving it a total of 4 USB-C ports. If you also step into that mid-tier and higher-end model, it also has gigabit Ethernet built right into the power brick that you can just plug your Ethernet right into, which is going to reduce the clutter and the cables now connected to your very beautiful iMac. I think that's very cool that Apple has kept in mind just how annoying it is to see cables. And when we're talking about cables, there's also a magnetic power cable, meaning if you trip over this or you just need to disconnect it quickly, you'll just be able to pull it, much like the old MagSafe chargers on the MacBooks. Hey Apple, where are we on that for the rest of your lineup? Would have made a lot more sense to see something like that on either your tablets or your laptops. Just saying. And we'll get back to the video. Keeping with the themes of cutting features out of the entry-level iMac, there are some new color-coded keyboards with built-in Touch ID, meaning that the Mac keyboard now has a processor built right into it, which will allow you to unlock your Mac at the touch of a button, will allow you to do Apple Pay and other verifications online. Again, interesting to see that Apple has some really good features like the Ethernet, the Touch ID on the keyboard, and 4 ports, but those 3 features have been kept out of the entry-level iMac. You can see they're really wanting to push you to go 1 tier up. There are some improved speakers on the iMac, and the speakers promise to keep you entertained and to give you decent sound, meaning that you won't have to attach any speakers if you don't want to, and you can keep that clean look on your desk and nothing connected to your iMac. There's also an improved FaceTime camera, which Apple is saying is the best webcam they've ever put on a Mac, which might not be saying that much if we're looking at the MacBook Air and MacBook Pros. However, I digress. Apple has given the iMac 24-inch a 1080p camera. Keeping with the simplicity once more, meaning you won't have to attach a webcam just to get a really good quality image. So Apple's looking out for you there with the 1080p camera. Moving on to pricing, the iMac starts at $12.99. For that, you're going to get the 7-core GPU, you'll get 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. You won't be getting that charger brick Ethernet integration, and you will not be getting Touch ID on your keyboard. To get the extra GPU core and those 2 other features, you have to jump up $200 to $1499. And jumping up another $200 will give you 512 gigabytes of storage. Apple does still sell Intel Macs. They still sell the previous generation of Macs, the old design. So if that's something you prefer, those are still out there. The smaller model, the 21.5-inch model, is currently priced at $1099. It is gloriously underpowered with a dual-core i5 processor. That's right, 2 cores versus the 8 cores on the M1. And it only has a 1080p display. At $1099, it's only a $200 savings, meaning that Apple is really steering customers away from this model. I don't even know why this model exists in the lineup. It could be to keep their $1099 pricing structure in place, just to be able to say that they sell an iMac for $1,100. I'm not sure. Priced at $100 over the most expensive iMac, there is the 27-inch model, which has a 5K Retina display. It is priced at $1799. It has a 5120 by 2880 display. At $1799, at $100 more than the most expensive 24-inch iMac, comes the 27-inch 5K Retina. It comes with a resolution of 5120 by 2880, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and a 256 gigabyte SSD drive. It has AMD's Radeon graphics, and it is powered by an Intel Core i5 processor. So Apple has wedged the new iMac between these 2 Intel models, which could be a difficult place if you don't know why you're buying it. So some conclusions and some things for you to consider. And looking at who this is for, who this iMac is for, if you dig colors, if you're into design, you want sleek, you want thin, and you want something to add a little bit to your office or maybe your kitchen or your living room, this is the perfect Mac for that. If you like the design, it's gonna fit in perfectly. The other reason to get this one is you're not a power user. You don't currently own a 27-inch Mac. You're really not looking for the most advanced iMac, but you do want an all-in-one design. You want something simple. You want something to pop out of the box, for it to have good camera, good speakers, a great processor, and run everything you need it to do. And that's what this computer is perfect for. At $1299, it's priced very well. You get a great display, and it might be the perfect computer solution for you. Again, if you like what it looks like. So who is this computer not for? If you have a recent 27-inch iMac, or you just want a large display, this isn't for you. If you already have a 27-inch iMac, but you are looking for an upgrade, I think you should wait a little longer. I think you should wait until the end of the year, until Apple unveils what they have coming up next. Now, if you like the power, if you like the idea of some of the features of the iMac, but you want your own display, or you want a larger than 24-inch display, well, there's always the Mac Mini with the M1 processor. It features essentially the same power, and it does have some ports. So that could be another route if you do want to get into the ecosystem, but you don't like the all-in-one design. Apple, with the new colorful iMac, has targeted consumers very specifically. I believe they know exactly what they're doing by selling a very design-focused computer with last year's internals at a great price. Apple is not looking to poach from their 27-inch iMac customers, and they're not looking to impress any of their Pro customers. I think what they're looking to do, if you were already kind of curious about an iMac, you were already maybe looking at the 21.5-inch iMac, for $200 more, Apple is baiting you into their new ecosystem. They're baiting you into the M1 chipset, and they're giving you an all-in-one solution. You don't have to worry about the display, you don't have to worry about speakers, you don't have to worry about a webcam, and for $1299, it's offering a lot of value. I think for a large portion of the viewers of this video, this is not the iMac for you, and I think Apple knows that. But for those who like the colors and who want something very thin and slim on their desk, this iMac is going to be hard to resist. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. Let me know what you think about the new iMacs, and what's the deal with Apple making you spend more just to put Ethernet on a charger. If you've enjoyed this video, I ask you to hit that like button. That would be very helpful. If you've been enjoying a few of these videos, consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, thank you from Pragmach.